Hello guys, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. It's been a while. I meant to have this episode up Tuesday. It's now Thursday, and I'm just recording it. So that went over well. As you may have seen, yesterday I put up a new video series, a collaboration with some other YouTubers. A few of you seem to like that. It's actually got more views than most of my other videos at this point. What was I doing here? I wanted to get this. Yeah. So, I don't exactly know what I'm doing here, but we're here in an orbit slightly higher than our space station orbit. I was given a suggestion for the space station. It was a little long and overdramatic, and honestly it sounded a little more like a ship title than a space station title. So, while I appreciate the contribution, we're gonna use that name later. We're gonna save that. We'll store it away somewhere, and it will be used though. It will be used. So at some point, I would like to actually use this station to... I want to pull it out to about a little more than where the moon is. So about in an orbit about here. And then use that to build other space stations that we can send out to, orbit out by Mars, and maybe have a space station orbit Mars, or Duna, sorry. This is Kerbal Space Program. So, yeah, like I said, I would like to do that, and to actually get Kerbals out here, I'd like to somehow piece together a giant ship, like flying space station type thing, USS Enterprise, that kind of thing, in which case that title will be used. But in the meantime, we're looking for a simpler, shorter name for this thing. But again, I do appreciate the contribution. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure what's going on. It's been quite a while since I've done this. Let's pull the nav ball up. I think right now, if I were to... Let's see, this I guess is on. I'll take that off. If I were to flip the thing around, I can pull the orbit in around in this area to bring us into where the orbit of the space station is. And because we're at about the same point, but we're moving slightly slower, that should let us catch up to it about there. Theoretically. We'll see how this works in practice. We are on the... No, we're not on the same orbit. That is our problem. Oh, and we missed it. Okay, so... The engines are off. Okay. So we want to get those orbits lined up properly. So let's go over here. So there those are lined up. It looks like it intersects right at the node there. No. How does it... That is not the moon lander. Anyway, you want to select it right there. And let's line that back up. There, we want to pull that side up a little bit. Right there-ish. A little more. Tad bit more. There we go. Right there. And according to this, it's a 6-second burn. Alright, so let's accelerate time and get over there a little quicker. Again, sorry guys for being a little slow today. It's just one of those days. It's also been a while since I've played. Oh, wrong button. Oh, we're not there yet. This is what I'm talking about. It's one of those days. That's all I can really say. Okay, we're coming up. Remember to actually hit the button. Okay, now... Oh, where's the direction we're supposed to be pointing? It's probably this way, isn't it? Yeah, it's right there. Okay, RCS on. Accelerate. This isn't gonna work quite how I wanted it to, but it's close enough. It's a little more oomph. Right there. Okay, that's gonna have to be good enough. We're dealing with rockets and things that explode, and we're basing it off good enough. Never let me build rockets. It's a little weird because that's actually what I want to do, but whatever. Oh, we're getting closer. There we go. Look at that intersection. Right there. Oh, that's still a pretty big separation. That's right there, 9.4 kilometers. Let's push it out just a little bit, or pull it in. Yeah, right there. A little bit more. I'm just gonna keep adjusting this. 1.8 kilometers. Perfect. So we have that now. Let's maybe line this thing up where it's supposed to be this time, before we get there. Okay, almost there. There we go. So anyways, as I was talking, I did put up a new series it's a collaboration with some other guys. And, oh, how low is this? Oh yeah, that's not gonna work, is it? Okay, let's stop that. Yeah, this brings us too low here. We'll just re-enter. So that's not gonna work. Good thing I caught that before we got there. Let's try here. Let's decelerate a little bit and see if we can't. Where's the other? There we go. That pulls us a little closer, a little sooner, or not. It's already at 78,000. Yeah, that's too low. Maybe I need to go here. Maybe I need to go earlier. Okay, let's try that. Where's the intercept? There, it's getting closer, getting closer. Already at 71,000 meters. Yeah, it's too low. Alright. Well, let's make another loop around. So yeah, new collaboration series. I've been getting a lot of good feedback on the intro to it, so thank you guys for that. I did put a lot of work into it. It was probably more work than it's actually worth, but I enjoyed it. Oh, that station is ahead of us now. Well, that is a thing. Okay, now let's try point it in here. That has separated us even further. I may have messed this up, guys. We may be permanently not in an orbit, or permanently not lining up where we want to. Yeah, it's already at 51,000. Okay, so that's not gonna work. So let's go here and push this other side out to, what is this at? 194, 196, 192. That'll be good right there. So we're going to push it out to a more circularized orbit. To give me a better sense of where the stations are relative to each other based on how fast they're going. So let's pull up here. And I don't want to make an intro like that for this series. I know it'd be pretty cool. I know a lot of people do it, such as some of the Minecraft guys, for example. Kurt J-Mac has a overly dramatic intro for his Kerbal Space Program adventures. I was trying to think of a good word to use, but I don't really want to do that. It seems, well, one, it seems like way too much work, because it is. But two, let's slow down. I don't remember what option, not option, what number 2 was. There was a second reason. But yeah, I want this to stay kind of a plain series. Although a title screen would be something I would use if I had one, but I'm a horrible artist, and everyone I know isn't really all that good at it either. So if one of you guys have a suggestion, I'm just letting this take a little longer so I can talk to you guys for a second. If any of you guys have a suggestion or art that you'd like to submit, you can submit it to zpelfrainlp@gmail.com. There will be a link in this video in the description. That's the thing word I'm looking for. It's also one on the last video I did, looking for a title screen for that. And yeah, if you guys want to do that, that'd be fine. Or even better, what is the word I'm looking for? The thing over the channel art. That's it. That's such a basic thing. Channel art, if you'd like to submit something for that, same email. Again, it's linked below. And we're getting up to this node now, and you can find us on Facebook now. zpelfrainlp or facebook.com/zpelfrainlp, and you can come and join us. I update that whenever I put in a new video, so you'd have that to look forward to. Nice notification of when my videos are coming out. So I know a lot of people will check Facebook before YouTube. I do too. If I see a video posted on Facebook, I'll watch it then. Otherwise, there's a good chance I'm not going to watch it. So for those of you guys who are like me, you've got that. Okay, we're now at this node. We're going to push this out a little bit. Get it right where we want it. A little bit more. Right there. Okay. We are now in a circularized orbit. But now we want this thing to catch back up to us. We have the dramatic, what is the word I'm looking for? We'll go with noises. Dramatic noises in the background. Dramatic noises make it sound like it's explosions and stuff. It's not explosions. It's close. Not quite there. Let's accelerate a little further. This is going to take a while. Yeah, we can't go any faster than that. Okay, quick sip of iced tea. It's not Dr. Pepper today, sorry about that. So, this is going to be a primarily me talking to you guys episode, apparently. Then it looks like going for 14 minutes, so we're going to keep going for a while longer. But for right now, we don't actually have anything that we can go to. Like if we had a space station out here, I could click to that and accelerate time on the space station, which would make these go faster. It's another thing I saw on Harv's channel. I'll link him in the description too for you guys to check out. Again, I don't know him, so don't go saying blah 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 sent me, zpelfrain sent me. Nobody likes it when you do that. Don't be that guy. Okay, we're getting close here. It's catching up to us. So Once it gets to about level with us, I'm going to bring the opposite side of the orbit in. Right about there. Alright, let's bring the opposite side of that orbit in. And theoretically, it should give us an intercept. Yeah, right there, right away. There we go. 1.9 kilometers. How low does that get? 86,000 meters? Okay, that's sitting at 100,000 meters, so we're not doing that bad there. We're still within the acceptable altitude. So that's coming up in 18 seconds. So let's get to... I probably should have gone the other way, it would have been quicker. Got a longer way to rotate here. Again, I have no idea how this ship is actually flipping over. Because there's no RCS on right now. So, just imagine all of the Kerbals throwing themselves against the wall. Okay, we're getting there. Getting there. And cut the engines. A little bit more, cut the engine. Okay. We're at 10.4 kilometers. I can work with that. That is why I try to get it so close when I have those intercepts, because if you don't get it too close, because of how poorly the actual trajectory planning works, you'll end up way off. So 10.4 I can work with, but like 64, that's quite a bit of distance to travel, so let it be a little harder. So let's get around to that intercept. So once you get around here, you basically want to establish an orbit in the same orbit as this ship, and then finesse your way over to it. Okay, you see here, we're getting pretty close. So, it's over there, so we want to point in the opposite direction of how we're facing right now. Forgot to take SAS off. And we want to decelerate so we can establish an orbit about 11 kilometers away from this thing. So right about here, let's accelerate. And as you can see, this is our velocity relative to the target. So when that approaches 0, that means that we're not moving at all relative to that target, which is what we want. Because from there, we can work with that, accelerate a little bit towards the target, slow down, re-establish our orbit in the direction we'd like to go. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. Control. Okay, we want to go back the other way. We want to cease all motion relative to that target. So again, it takes a little bit of finesse. So here we're slowly bringing our velocity relative to that target down. Once it gets above there, that's about as much as you can really do. So we'll now point our ship towards the target. Let's lose this stage. Start the next stage. Accelerate away from it. So we can keep that at a good distance from our station. And that'll still be there, so we'll have to get rid of that at some point. Here we go, we're up to about 30 meters per second relative to the target. We want to stay right around there up until we get closer, in which case we will decelerate back down to 0 meters per second relative to it. Because again, we're in a different orbit, so accelerating directly towards it actually changes our orbit. So we'd end up in a higher orbit going slower. So you kind of have to take it in simple stages. Here we're going a little bit too fast, so let's slow it down a little bit. Okay, we're coming towards it. We're at 9.6 kilometers away now, 9.5. We're moving 28.8 meters per second relative to it, but we are accelerating slightly. Take another sip of iced tea. Now our acceleration is increasing a little bit more. So we'll go back to right opposite of our trajectory and do a little burn there. Just to slow us back down again. And as you can see, we are still accelerating. So let's point the nose back in the direction of, or opposite direction of our velocity. So velocity is a vector unit, not a scalar. Speed is scalar, velocity is not. There we go, we're back up to 30 meters per second. So while we're trying to finesse this, give you guys a brief description of the difference between scalar and vectors, just because I feel like it. So vector means I'm moving 29.8 meters per second that way. Specifically this way, directly in front of us. Speed means I'm going 30 meters per second, period. I could be going around in circles, I'm still going 30 meters per second. If I'm going around in circles, the velocity is technically 0. At least the net velocity. Because I'd be going the same speed, but in every direction. So it all equals out and comes to 0. Anyway, that's kind of a bad explanation, but if you guys understand, it's good enough. Okay, we're at 7.3 kilometers away. Let's actually cease the motion here. Let's bring that down to 0. Ish. 0-ish. Not quite 0. Okay, we'll move this around. Let's accelerate a little bit this way. A little bit more. There we go, we're at 0. But we're still accelerating, because again, we're in a different orbit. I believe we're at a lower orbit. Yeah, we're closer, so we're at a lower orbit. So we will be moving slightly faster than the station. Let's accelerate up away from the planet. And I'm accelerating slightly. It's not actually the direction I want to be accelerating to. Slightly. Hold on, let's flip this thing around. Right there, okay. Now, am I upside down? No, I'm going the right way, okay. So now, we can go slightly off to the right of it, since we are orbiting counterclockwise. So we're actually passing it this way, so if I accelerate slightly to the right, it'll balance out a little bit of that motion that way. Let's go a little bit more. Again, we're just trying to get up to about 30 meters per second, in which case we'll slow down again. Let's go 35, just to make it speed up a little bit. And I don't think there's really a set speed that you need to do that at. There's just a speed that you feel comfortable at. Because from 5.4 kilometers away, it doesn't seem like you're moving that fast. When you get to within a kilometer, all of a sudden it's flying at you. Because 33 meters per second, that's pretty fast. That's a little more than 100 feet per second. So that's a football field, or well, a third of a football field every second. No, that'd be, I think my math is a little wrong. Yeah, it'd be about 90 feet, 95 feet per second. So yeah, you're moving about 100 feet per second, so a third of a football field per second. Because everything is relative to football fields in America. Alright, we're getting a little closer, so let's change our acceleration. We'll bring our velocity back down to 0. And then we'll make another burn back in the direction of the station. There we go, 0.3 meters. So let's point, I believe that's away from the station. Let's point towards the station. Of course it's away from the station. I can see the ship right there. Paying too much attention to the nav ball. There we go, we're back on. This video's been going on for a little too long now. But we're gonna finish this, we're gonna dock, and then the video will be over. So let's speed this up a little bit. And this time I am pointing directly towards it because we are within an acceptable distance to point basically directly towards it. Gonna take another drink. That cup's getting a little empty. Okay, let's point away. See, as we get closer, it does seem like the station is moving more relative to us, just from what we can see. You can see it moving relative to us right now. And pretty soon, we're going to actually be able to see the station itself. Yeah, coming up pretty fast here. As you can see, once you get close, those numbers start going. It doesn't seem like you're going that fast at first. Let's put R on RCS, accelerate this way a little bit. Using just RCS right now. Because we are within the that threshold basically of where we're comfortable going and not too fast. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say all at the same time. Okay, let's take RCS off. I don't know why I kept it on. We'll bring the velocity back down. Hit the wrong button at first. Now I can see the station is right here. So we'll accelerate a little towards it. Oh, a little too much maybe. We'll put RCS back on. Let's give it a little more. Brings us up to, let's get up to 5 meters per second here. 5-ish. Yeah, so you can kind of see it off there now. As we get closer, it'll get bigger. Readjusting my chair, take another drink. That's the last of the T. So, let's take RCS off. Hit the wrong button again. Let's flip this around so we're facing proper direction. Alright, we're coming up. Not quite as fast as I'd like. I probably turn RCS on before I try making it work. It's a good way to smack into the station is because you forgot to turn RCS on. Yeah, you can see it's getting a little bigger now. This episode's already half an hour long. I don't know if I'll edit any of this out. I might not. What is that over there? There's other debris over there. I just realized we might hit something while we're coming in because of just the amount of debris that I left building the station before. Alright, we're coming up pretty fast again, so let's decelerate a little bit. Take SAS off. Pressing N to fire the RCS boosters forward. Or thrusters, not boosters. Okay, now we'll point back towards the station. Fire the rocket a little bit. So we still have plenty of fuel and it's a very efficient engine. We'll get up to 6 meters per second. Wrong button. Alright, let's decelerate a little bit. Probably turn RCS on again. We may just smack into the station this episode, the way it's going so far. As you can see, we're approaching pretty fast. It's kind of flying up on us. Alright, we'll move back. And now we're within 500 meters, so we don't want to get going too fast anymore. Let's do a quick fire of the engine. Keeping RCS on. Okay, we're now approaching rather quickly. Let's get right up to 2.5 meters per second. Alright, we're getting pretty close now. I'm gonna put it over here so we can decelerate properly. Alright, we'll accelerate towards the station again. A little fire of the main engine. There's 3 meters per second. I'm kind of trying to rush this, but kind of not at the same time, because the instant you rush it, you blow something up. But here we are, we're coming up. We're 100 meters away right now, well, 200 meters away. And what do you know? It's not actually the space station. Well, let's decelerate and let's reevaluate what we're doing right now. Okay, let's go to the map. Where's the station? The station's here. Apparently we targeted the debris, even though I'd clearly said to... No. It clearly said to... target the living quarters. Space. Oh, debris. I don't want to do freaking debris. No. No. Now let's untarget the debris and retarget the main. Why is it setting the debris as the target? Okay, well, whatever. We can find it here. This should be. Let's accelerate towards that. Although I'm going to end the episode here. No, we're kind of ending on a bad note, but we'll get it in the next episode. This because it's already gone on way too long. So, thanks for watching. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see us fail more. See you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.